You did that and come back and play quite an important role for England, that team. I mean, it's I guess it shows that red ball and white ball, the skills, and certainly in the Bazball era, seem to be closer than ever.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, the way they've been playing for the past year now, the real positive brand of cricket, and for people to go out there play with freedom, it's very similar to the white ball side, whether it's 50 or T20. So the skills, like you said, now are very similar. That's shown over the past year as well with England, where they're batting, the bowling, and the opposition as well when they play against them. They've had to find a different way of probably countering that, so which has been a real positive and a real good thing.
Obviously, when Mo got the call up, the legend is he got a text from Stokesy saying Ashes, lol. Did he send you a similar text when he decided he was going to play?
No, I think me and him, we actually talked over the phone, just having a chit chat and just having a thing of what do you reckon and how is it, and just the whole overall thing. So it wasn't anything of a text of some sort. Yeah, like you say, it's something that you, as a kid, as a youngster, or you play for, is winning World Cups for your country. Something probably as a young kid you dream of, but for a lot of us, that's become reality as well. Is winning that. So that moment you cherish with your teammates, with your squad, with your family members, your wife, your kids, your mum, dad. So it's something that I'm sure that we'll all keep very close to us, and we also know that there's more to come as well. We also believe that this is not the end of it. We have that mindset of yes, let's go beyond. Yes, we've created some kind of history, but definitely want to push further on and defending it and winning it again, and that's the mentality we got.
I mean, that would really cement the legacy of what's been one of the great England teams, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but it's already have, I reckon, as in 2 World Cup wins, the back-to-back holding both. So in terms of, if you're talking World Cup scores from 2015, I know that England team has ever been better in terms of winning series, in terms of going from number 7, 8 to number 1. So as a squad, from 2015 to now, that era, the best
everything. How do you think they're going to react when we tell them they can't leave?
This place, it isn't waiting.
Abdullah Shafiq has taken one of the all-time great catches in cricket.
There was some way of
It was on day 4 of the Sri Lanka-Pakistan test. A ball, and Shafiq, at backward short leg, held on to a physics-defying catch. Here's what makes the catch so incredible.
Who's going to start things off? I think for the first time today from the Anderson end.
A step down the track. When a batter is attempting an attack
looking at the field, England are going to go short here to head with a short leg, a gully and the field spread.
Not only does Shafiq stay upright, he actually moves with the batter, expecting an opportunity may come to his left.
Just rather
2, the ball comes straight off the bat, not off bat and pad, which means the reaction time close in would have been calculable in decaseconds.
From Broad.
3, Shafiq is moving to his left, but the ball ends up going to his right. So he has to rebalance himself and dive in the opposite direction to which he's stepping. It requires contortionist level flexibility and agility to do that.
Oh, it's taken. England's plan has worked. Broad has his man, and it is 600 for Stuart Broad. He joins Jimmy Anderson in an elite club, and no England bowler now has got more wickets against Australia than Broad. What a cricketer, what a competitor. Broad now joins his great mate in that very special club. Just 3 spinners and 2 seamers have got there, and no matter what kind of a bowler you are, to get that number of wickets is amazing, but to do it as a fast bowler with all the stresses and strains on your body is quite incredible. In the context of this game and this day, that is a big wicket of Travis Head, but it is a very special wicket that Stuart Broad will remember for a long, long time.
James Anderson back on his home ground. We're looking back over there towards the
he almost takes the outside edge of Cameron Green's bat as well, and all of a sudden, as so often happens when Broad is bowling, the crowd and the ground is alive. 189 for 5.
He's not on the honours board.
He's been a brilliant competitor. Australia have often brought out the best in him.
media briefing today. But no, it makes sense. I think
66 matches as a seamer, that's just behind Jimmy Anderson's 182.
Counterproductive, I think, because
88 wickets. Difference between them.
He had a bit of a stop-start lead-in with those championship games and that groin injury going into the first test. I think to judge him on the month is stupid of him to...
A drift there from Moeen Ali, takes a thick outside edge from Green. He doesn't always start brilliantly against spin.
In the last year, he's been a vital part of what McCullum and Stokes have been able to do, even on those flat pitches in Pakistan, which is why I think the conversation around whether this is the end is a little bit overblown, because it wasn't that long ago that he was doing What I do think, though,
it's just been a scratch on the inside edge.
This probably is the end. This probably is his last time and last outing at his home ground. This is his last test.
Definitely just a bit of something off the pitch, though,
we're not entirely sure
for Moeen Ali.
Playing that one.
Nothing in that 2 overs before lunch, but a little spell before tea. The ball just started to turn a little.
And fundamentally, even if Ollie Robson didn't have that back issue, he's drastically
underperformed. He kicks the turf in frustration because he's given Mitchell Marsh a bit of a gift there. It's short and wide.
So in different ways, but yeah, so in that regard, it makes sense.
He's got it working
in front of his home crowd as well. As much as you don't want to play into that, a lot of
what Green playing that with
good environment in the stands,
soft hands, so the ball goes down, it dies before it gets to Crawley at second slip.
Cheer on one of my favourite songs.
See what Stuart Broad's trying to do here. Ball a couple that goes away. If he gets a wicket in that, it's okay, but he's setting him up for the one that comes in. Cameron Green has been a candidate for LBWs. He's worked on it.
To come out
Stuart Broad
has been Ben Stokes,
someone who can bowl a real good in swing. You've got to watch it at the start of the
innings. You can tell there's some cloud cover here where the covers are on. They have been for most of the day. It does look like the weather will play a part in this game.
Does hit the ball sweetly, does Mitchell Marsh, and very firmly.
And there's an indication that we could see some quite fun stuff coming over the course of this game. Do you think it could be
down the ground? Stokes was just hanging a little deeper at mid-on, but Mitch Marsh has hit it well.
But I suppose, yeah, they've got to be
played very confidently, brilliantly at Headingley.
There's a boring side.
He started in confident fashion here.
Done in a short period of time. They need a big first innings.
Played the same shot in Headingley as well, even though there was a fielder on the line. Shows his confidence to hit through the line. This one again, a touch full.
They haven't asked us to use the secondary ball at any point during the series. They could probably do with that there. At the very least, batting 100 overs and going
9 for 5.
5 and over potentially. There's also little things that there was a situation in Multan, the second test of the Pakistan series, where
swing. I don't think that's gone off the pitch.
Smog from the city was drifting out to where the ground was and basically delaying start time. So the day before, they were originally planning on training at the ground. They decided against that, but they went to see the
gone off the seam. Either hit
there was also the
crack or an indentation maybe, or just the seam, but it's really gone.
Stokes first posited the idea of forfeiting innings, but it wasn't as wild to him as I suppose it is to you.
Wow, what a response that is from Mitch Marsh.
But that might be something that
deliver.
comes into play here. You've tried to think of like that situation where England are potentially batting second
nicely,
in that situation.
hit hard, as he often does, Mitch Marsh. He looks in great touch.
Whichever way it would work out, essentially they would want to only bat once, and that's the only thing they have control over. And I suppose that's a little bit harder, given how Australia seem to have reinforced their batting as well.
Yeah.
So
232
I do
for 5.
envisage them being funkier, but there are only so many ways to beat them.
Oh, run out chance, he fumbles. I think that's Stokes at extra cover. Marsh was a long way down and turning slowly.
What an opportunity.
In the aftermath of
was
this
so
test match,
far
seems
down
to
the
be
track,
a lot of extreme emotions triggered with voices both in the Caribbean and
Stokes
outside saying do away with the cricketing concept of the West Indies, let the islands go at it alone.
Grabs it,
We've heard
in the
these sort of,
and can't hold on.
shall we say, voices
so
or opinions before. First and foremost, I want to ask you, when you hear things like that,
Gordon as well from root.
I'm immune to it because I've been hearing it for 20 years. Really, it's not the first time.
Looks uncomfortable here, Green.
And I give everyone outside the Caribbean and within the right to have their opinion on it. But I don't think that people really understand.
Excellent again from Mark Wood.
Resources, human resource, economic resource, structural resource that it takes to
now is that foot first
country. If you say Trinidad with 1.5 million people decide to go it
Waiting,
alone.
the umpire won't give a signal because he doesn't want to give away that it might be backed.
Test cricketers per square mile there historically, whatever. So I don't think
Stokes is not convinced.
Really sitting down,
or is he?
Too late. The magnitude.
They have three reviews left. Turning one here is okay.
50
there was bat, yes, but was it shoe fast?
Going up the ladder.
It was given as a run. He didn't give it as a leg by. Was it bat? Yes, just trapped the bottom of the bat before the boot.
Cricket still has a foundation that we can build and work with if we get our structure right, our infrastructure right, and get a buy-in from the leaders of the Caribbean. And
that's gone fine, and that's gone away for 4. 50 for Mitch Marsh.
Is it really all
first innings 100 in the last game? First innings half century here.
Failure of making the ODI World Cup and then a heavy defeat against India. But is it really such a big deal losing to India, who have been the better team?
I don't think so. Maybe two.
It's just a steamroll of what we've seen in the last two T20 World Cups, and then qualifying for the ODI World Cup.
Only has to be clipping now. It's been given on field. It looks straight. We're going to have a look.
At home than any of the other formats. I think a lot of hope was put upon them. But India is the number one team in the world, so I don't know if people's expectations are realistic around
big gap between bat and the ball. I'm satisfied, no bat involved. You can go to the ball tracking when it's ready.
I don't think we expected to be so what's the word I'm looking for?
Because umpire score, Joel, because umpire score, you can stay with your game.
But again, I'm tired of talking about the issues and solutions.
Value of getting the on-field decision.
I want to talk about the issues. I want to talk about what are the solutions.
They needed the on-field decision. They got it.
Given the margin of defeat,
it was just clipping on height and on line.
Do you see
that was
a
good
better
enough
response in Trinidad?
Yeah, I think the response.
Just a really good delivery, great seam position, bites, nips back in. Cameron Green, he hasn't looked at his best. He's felt around, especially against the seam. And this time, missing it by a long way.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, that's a beauty. Now, has it been taken in eyes? What a moment that is. A man that has been under immense pressure has taken a worldie of a catch. Brilliant from Bairstow.
Picked his moment, didn't he? He was under a lot of criticism, a lot of chat about his wicket-keeping. He didn't take a brilliant one in the last test, but that was off the pad.
Well,
but this one again, brilliantly bowled from Wokes. Takes the outside edge, wrong-footed, but the outstretched right glove, the ball nestles in perfectly.
Asking the questions.
Johnny Bairstow's happy, a bit surprised maybe, but happy. Mitch Marsh, he's got to go for 51. What a breakthrough, what a change from Stokes. Australia now 255 for 7.
Finish, but in all seriousness, really disappointing batting effort. How much do you put that down just to the conditions that we saw at Roseau, and that we may not see something like that at Trinidad?
Mark Wood there has done really well. Remember, Mark Wood's just on the back end of a 5-over spell, but he's come herring round at fine leg and stopped a certain boundary.
Have generally struggled.
Well, it's a tactic that has become much more prevalent.
Slow bowling
in recent
even
years,
more
this tactic of right-arm bowlers bowling round the wicket to left-handers. And that's exactly where the left-hander should look to hit the ball. Back from where it came, straight through mid-off, that's perfect from Carey.
Against Ashwin and Jadeja, over 700, 800 wickets in test matches between them. So I think we have to be a little more strategic.
The moment he came in, Ricky Ponting said, Mitchell Starc can bat, Alex Carey needs to have faith in him. He's got 10 test match half-centuries, and there's just a little bit of quality about that clip through mid-wicket.
And try to put our team.
And I'm sure you would have read the story during the week as well, Athens, but he's done it with his wife's bat.
Sort of situation with a pitch that West Indies would have won.
Wanted something a little bit lighter, went out in the garage, went into Alyssa's kit and found one that he liked.
And if it is a case where...
That's the truth. That bat there, that bat that he's using there is Alyssa Healy's bat.
I wouldn't
pinged off then quite nicely.
Deliberately prepared.
And again, Anderson has served one up again on middle and leg. And the moment you say he bowls accurately, serves up 2 half volleys on leg stump, both dispatched, 272 for 7.
That rewards batsmanship and good fast bowling, which I still
fine.
Yeah,
there's
pitch making is a highly inexact science.
Can't get there.
We remember before the Dominica Test there was rain, so there would have been some covering. That would have played into the challenges of the ground staff, I guess, in getting that surface right. Do you expect Trinidad to be different, though?
I believe so. I believe Trinidad will be
in the air and just short.
Different in the sense that
just short of Wokes.
I think it'll be a good cricket surface.
You'll just hit that bad enough. Mitchell Stark, like a foot movement, probably expecting that to swing back into him, a fraction low on the bat.
Right? So it wasn't easy for them either. They
submit them up here off the bat. It looked like it was going to carry back quite comfortably.
There's a sort of a lead consultant on that surface in Trinidad who I think
understands. He just left that inside edge. He is just what England needed. Carey falls to the new ball. It's that man Wokes again.
He's been very, very good. No doubt about it. The man they call the Wiz. He strikes again for England. It's a big blow as well.
Is it fair to say that the West Indies' best chance to compete?
The Australian keeper batsman Alex Carey was dismissed in a similar way at Headingley. Trying to leave the ball from outside the off stump, runs off the inside edge, a bit of wobble through to Bairstow, but a massive broke through late in the day.
2017.
Carey goes, Australia 294 for 8.
On in home conditions, and Gabriel with his extra piece.
Really dragged onto his stumps there.
Joseph.
And it goes away for 4.
What Janelle Warrican or Raheem Cornwall can bring, but I think as a collective and
Right, smile on the face of James Anderson there. He went back and gave that front crease line a good kicking like he normally does.
Again, I can't guarantee. I'm not putting my head on it.
He reads it, hadn't carried that one there. Is almost chopped onto leg stump.
It is better you go down.
You just see that frustration building.
On Raheem Cornwall, I'm sure the West Indian fans will have a lot to say upon returning, sympathise with whatever illness he might have to go through, but illness, injury has been part and parcel of Raheem Cornwall's international career. Do you sense a tipping point has come?
Tipping point in what?
Punch for
Would the West Indies be better advised to look at other options where they can trust more on the fitness and health of a player to last them in a test match, because that will effectively 10 versus 11 with your lead spinner out on the turning track.
Whole over, because I think Mitchell Stark is going to look to play some shots against this ball.
Line in the sand after one test match. I think what the test match did was that whatever the illness was to Raheem, it has given him another glimpse and given the selectors another glimpse.
Solid block from Stark. He's looked pretty good while he's been there. England have been excellent all day. 299 for 8.
But I think it's what is required.
Another really good test match day.
From every player in the Caribbean, higher levels.
And England just edging it.
In fairness, it was the batting
toss.
that left the West Indies down primarily.
Beautifully, they've caught well.
150 and below that in both
would have been
innings.
a great addition to
Did
this
they in
side.
any way suffer over hamstrung by personnel availability, the absence of Roston Chase,
it's been a great day, a great achievement
in Zimbabwe,
for a
believe
great
there's some injury management there as well. Was that in any way contributing further?
I wouldn't like to sort of lay the outcome at the feet of that. It's always been next man up wherever you play, whatever sport it is, and we have to increase and improve our depth. I thought Alec Afanaz acquitted himself perhaps better than any other batsman, any other batter in the test match for West Indies, that is. So he got the opportunity. I think we've seen potential in him. Again, I'm not saying he's a second coming of Brian Lara. I don't want anybody to but I think given that our talent pool is so small,
Stuart Broad has got his first test wicket.
Mackenzie's another one we're talking about. So it's unfortunate, but guys have been tried, Ruston and Kyle have had moments and
wicket for Stuart Broad. That's his 100th in Test cricket.
Sometimes we're so good on the road.
Wicket, Stuart Broad.
We've been wondering a lot about how India's squad will shape up for a big tournament that's coming up in June.
300. He's joined the big club. Stuart Broad has his 300th victim in Test match cricket on his
That's
home
the ODI
ground.
World Cup.
What a beauty.
But there's another big and almost unique tournament that India will feature. For the first time, India is sending out a squad for the Asian Games, the men's cricket competition. And that squad has been announced. Few interesting takeaways there. Ruturaj Gaikwad will lead the side. It features the likes of Harshdeep Singh and Washington Sundar, who've been part of the regular white ball plans. Looking at that squad, firstly, your thoughts on the squad overall? Considering this is such a different tournament, Indian cricketers don't get the opportunity to experience multi-sport events, and now you will have this bunch of cricketers, a lot of whom are so fresh in international cricket. You get the chance to go out and get a medal.
Absolutely, and that's such a unique opportunity, isn't it? I've spoken to a few of my colleagues who went for the Commonwealth Games. It's been a while, and the feedback that I got was phenomenal. It's a totally different kind of feeling when you're part of a huge contingent. You're staying in the games village with the other athletes from different countries. It's completely different, that feeling, and it's such a unique opportunity. So good luck to those guys, and hopefully we'll get a gold from the Asian Games as far as men's cricket is concerned. Because again, the way you look at it is also different.
Australia lost another toss. They played all their all-rounders. They left their spinner out.
Gold
got in and got out. 32, 51, 41, 48, 51, 16, 20.
I don't know when next is going to happen.
Got 23. Hayeswood, the batter to come tomorrow.
Will do it for the country and get the gold. And also, I mean,
no wickets for Jimmy Anderson, one for Ali, one for Wood, two for Stuart Broad, four for the excellent Chris Roach, 4 for 52
all the
in 19.
performances or performers during the IPL have been rewarded with this opportunity, and why not? And also, if you look at it,
the Aussies,
because this is going to clash with the World Cup, if I'm not wrong. And you start looking at the next
official wine partner of England cricket.
This team gives you a little bit of an idea what the Indian
This is your very last chance to win this stunning Yorkshire
and
house.
this would also be
Plus
kind of
£100,000 to help you settle in. So enter the Omaze £1 million house draw by this Sunday at omaze.co.uk. And the best part, you'll be supporting blood cancer UK. Remember, for your last chance to win this grand prize worth £2 million. You must enter by this Sunday at omaze.co.uk.
There are a few names of interest.
The one and only Chocomel.
Look ahead, because the Asian Games do clash with the World Cup. They end
Sharing
on
not
the 8th
required.
of October with the World Cup starting is about to hit the 5th of October. And 4 names in particular stand out. The captain Ruturaj Gaikwad and Nikhil Kumar, who are both part of the squad in the team. As engaged Washington Sundar and Harshdeep Singh, who we have imagined are either around or will be around the ODI setup when they're considering the World Cup squad. Is this then an indication that these are players who are
This
not
is
part
the
of the
MSC Cruises Belgian
Yes and no, obviously because it's clashing.
Watch the
the
100
obvious
continue as the wickets
answer
and
would
the
be
runs
yes,
continue to flow. All the action live on Sky Sports.
For the Asian Games, these guys, there's a fair bit of cricket to be played. We still have a fair bit to go before the Asian Games happens and the World Cup as well. You never know. I mean, if for example, Ruturaj or Mukesh, they get a game on the series and they do well, you never know. Things
That's a strong opening.
As of now, how we see it is obviously these guys might not be there in that World Cup reckoning or
official wine partner of England cricket.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of good performances, and I'm sure with what, at least another couple of months to go, a little over a couple of months, things may as well.
If it is to be that these players aren't part of the ODI World Cup plan, is Harshdeep in particular, I think you would find surprising, considering we've been talking about left-arm seamers so much, and he appears to be the best option.
Yes, I was, when I looked at that side, I said, as far as team bowling, you've got Shami, you've got Siraj, Shardul as a team bowling all-rounder maybe, and Hardik, let's not forget Hardik, so they're part of that squad as well. So I can still understand, but like you said, I mean, Arshdeep, maybe as a variation, you've got Umran Malik as well.
Well, Everton Trafford was sold out yet again. Of course it was, because this series has captured the imagination of the entire country.
Very good option,
was
but
excellent for England.
I guess they have something on their mind. The selectors have already thought of maybe they have a rough idea of the series that they're looking at for the World Cup, and maybe it's good in a way. It's good in a way that you have got a clear clarity as far as Rohit, the captain, is concerned, or Robert Dravid.
So we're all set for another good day here at Old Trafford. The weather looks good. It's bright and breezy, as it was yesterday. And Australia, well, they'll be looking to get past 300, get as many as they can for these last 2 wickets. England looking to wrap things up as quickly as possible and get underway with the bat. Jimmy Anderson it is, and Pat Cummins to take strike.
Yeah, I mean, they did exactly what was asked of them, and perhaps more, actually.
Good start. Wonderful start for England and for Anderson. He had a luckless day yesterday. He toiled without reward. It hasn't taken long today.
Every morning you wake up prior to a day's play in this Test match series, you're never sure what's going to happen. You don't know who is going to come out on top. One thing that is baked in is action. And straight away, combination of Anderson and Stokes sent back the Australian captain. One shy of 300, Australia are 9 down.
That's very close to the inside edge, very close to leg stump, but Hazelwood survives.
There were moments today where it felt like maybe that was creeping back in. But they got over the line, they performed incredibly well. They
sneaks past Harry Brook at gully and gets Hazelwood off the mark.
And I think they needed it, otherwise if
300 for Australia.
But they have won, and I suppose to get excited really, because they're
very close to the outside edge. Wokes has the ability to move it both ways. His stock ball would swing back to Hazelwood, but then he bowls that wobble seam, three-quarter seam, whatever you want to call it, which just pushes across the left-hander.
Because who've got over the line by 3 wickets at Headingley, and it's the Headingley factor once again, isn't it? 4 years ago.
It's all done, and it's Wokes who has 5. Such an underrated cricketer for a long period of time. Got his moments in the sun here with 5 wickets against Australia for the first time. Oh no. No. Take all that back. Rewind 5 seconds. He'll have to do it again.
A little bit out of sorts, having been promoted to number 3. It allowed him to settle into the game and get over the line. A huge word though for Chris Wokes, another guy who has had a
first one he's bowled.
Game. He scored. He took 3 wickets
through 19 overs yesterday, without overstepping. The crucial moment, nice catch again from Zach Crawley, just focused in on him as he prepared his mind to go out and open the batting. Pouches the catch at second slip. Another wobble seam delivery.
He had a terrible time behind the stumps all series.
Nice carry with the new ball. They'll have to do it all over again. Bad luck, Michael. Lovely call.
It did look as though that has affected his impenetrable mental state from last season in particular. He was not looking the man that he was in 2022 for certain. But one man who has got an absolute
Edge will take it fine.
Well-being right this minute, Mark Wood.
And that's another boundary. The boundaries are not easy to come by, as I say, because Stokes has spread that field. But if you can get it past third slip, you're in business.
From 8 balls, I think it was, and this time a huge 6 into the football stand really settled in his nerves.
And driven firmly past Anderson's outstretched right hand.
Another incredible
because it went very straight. That allows Stark to come back for a second.
He just looked like a real wicket taking all the way through.
Edged and taken this time. Wokes is going to look back at the line. But at the moment he has his first Ashes fifer. The front foot's okay this time. And England have bowled Australia out for 317. Wokes finishes with 5.
Australia could have been going into Old Trafford next week 3-0 up.
A lot of starts there.
Hung on.
32, 51, 41, 48, 51, 16, 20. And Mitchell Stark continues his good batting form on this ground. He likes batting here. 36 not out.
The English bowlers, one man stands
England
out
have given
there.
themselves
Chris
a terrific
Woakes,
chance of
5 for
keeping
62.
the Ashes
The
alive,
first
having been
5-wicket
set
haul
200
against Australia. Mark would bowl sharp, but didn't get the wicket. Stuart Broad
by Australia. It was Chris Woakes that set the tone after a long rain delay, removing Mitchell Marsh and Alex Carey. And 170 for 8, it did look as though Australia would fold, but Travis Head counter-attacked alongside the final 2 wickets to stretch Australia's lead to something they'll still believe they can defend. But it was a crucial passage of play to the close.
Mitchell
25
Stark
minutes
with the first
that Ben
ball
Duckett and Zach Crawley
England
saw out
innings.
against the new ball and chipping off 27 priceless runs from that target. No one needs reminding what happened in 2019, and last year England also chased 296 here against New Zealand, so the size of the target certainly won't intimidate them. But you feel the way this series has gone, and the fact Australia have such a good bowling attack that there's a few twists to come in this match yet. England know what's needed, and there'd be no surprise if Ben Stokes is there to try and make it happen tomorrow.
We're just about 20 minutes since Tamim Iqbal shocked Bangladesh cricket with his retirement from all formats of the game. It was a very emotional affair for him. He walked into the room full of journalists at the Towering Hotel in Chattanooga when he sat down and took a bit of time. His eyes were red, and those of us who were standing close to him could realize that this is going to be a huge announcement. And then he obviously made the statement that he's going to retire from all formats of the game. It's just in the middle of the Afghanistan series. We just had the first ODI on Wednesday, which Bangladesh lost by 70 runs. It was a very
Edge gone.
This was
Stark has his first. What a performer he is.
Very settled side. They qualified for the World Cup directly. Thanks a lot. Thanks mostly to Tamim's
Duck it goes. England 9 for 1.
But there was a lot of things happening in the background. There was a lot of question marks about his fitness recently.
Stop ball from Mitchell Stark. One that leaves the left-hander, thin and straightforward catch to carry. Real good bowling there.
Played into
He's got it on point from ball 1. He's looking good here, Mitchell Stark. Gets his first for the day.
A big cricketer in Bangladesh who
Ben Duckett goes for 1. England 9 for 1.
Still isn't sitting well with a lot of people, and people are still shocked. I've spoken to a few journalists, a few fans downstairs. After he had left, he didn't take any questions. So we still don't know a lot of things, but he did make a lot of pointed remarks. Like he told the media not to focus on a player's life or anything away from cricket, which I thought was
just for a moment thought he was in the game, but a runaway
he went through in the last few months or throughout his career as well. But it's been a very long career, so I think that's why he was such an asset to the Bangladesh team, such a fixture that right at the top, Tamim Iqbal on the quite a regular feature. And he did retire from T20Is last year. He hasn't played T20Is
just short of
this
slip
from
Steve Smith just for a moment
as we can find out now.
Thought he was in the game. He wanted to go. Not sure
in the
he
coming
could have
days
got
we're going
there.
to see who's the new
Surprised it didn't carry.
whether Bangladesh recovers from the
I'm
shock
surprised as well.
in this series and going ahead to the Asia Cup and the World Cup, which are very, very big tournaments for Bangladesh.
England have announced their fixtures for the 2024 home summer, which will begin with concurrent men's and women's series against Pakistan.
Completely contrasting trajectory
will be at Edgbaston on May the 11th. England
this one similar length, straight
and after the success of the women's matches, which has seen record ticket sales, the women will once again be hosted at several of the major grounds, including Lord's, the Oval, and
uses his feet, punches this one to mid-wicket, and that's going to get there.
The men, after playing Pakistan as a warm-up for their T20 World Cup defence, will return for Test series against
times I
West
felt
Indies and Sri
yesterday
Lanka.
that
Both of those
batsmen have got to 50 and they've got to 100 fairly comfortably. The conversion rates from 50 to 100 have subsequently gone up. There's a lot of batsmen who have 10 hundreds and 12 50s, where it used to be that it was 2 to 1. If you had 500s, you had 10 50s. But the conversion rates are up. Not so much in this series. It's been harder because the bowling has been consistent and for longer periods. Got away fine. That'll be 4. Nice deflection.
Just another normal day of test cricket, wasn't it, in this Bazball Ashes? The major talking point, though, Nathan Lyon's injury. He walked off during the final session with what looks like a calf injury. He'll be assessed further overnight, but that could be a huge blow for Australia in this match and potentially in the rest of the series. It's going to put a lot of onus on their fast bowlers. They've already expended significant energy against England's top order tonight. Did bring some success, though, with 3 players hooked into the deep before Ben Stokes and Harry Brook consolidated through to the close to leave the match very evenly poised. But for the first time in 100 consecutive tests, Australia are going to have to ponder potentially how to win a match without their talismanic off-spinner. Looking forward further into the series, they do have Todd Murphy in the squad. He would be a like-for-like replacement in terms of off-spinner for off-spinner, but of course it's not easy to replace 496 test wickets overnight. Overall, this wasn't Australia's best day. Their batting slipped in the morning session. Overall, they lost their last 7 wickets for 100. Stephen Smith did convert into an excellent century, but they would have been disappointed with 416 after where they were yesterday evening. England then went at their usual brisk tempo. Australia couldn't really build much pressure except for Nathan Lyon, which just goes to emphasise how key he was in their attack and the hole he'll leave. But those wickets in the last session did keep Australia in it, and England will still have to work hard to get a first innings lead. This is shaping up to be another gripping test match.
Impact Line and Lucas Smith I recommend you to change.
The game has moved on the second morning at Lords. Australia bowled out for 416. Stephen Smith completed a beautifully compiled 30-second test century before he was caught in the gully. England actually removed Australia's last 7 wickets for 100 runs in total, beginning with the 2 wickets that Joe Root took last night. But the true value of that fight back will only be known by quite a way. And what we also saw there was an extra bounce that Cameron Green gets in the match, or will it just show what they missed yesterday when they couldn't make early even though that's just hitting straight just above bowling conditions. All eyes will now be on how England's ultra-attacking batting line will go in the face of a significant first innings total. It's still very much advantage Australia here at Lords.
I saw Duckett get LB at Headingley, and he reviewed immediately, but had lost his whereabouts and didn't really realise that the ball was going down. But here, Crawley straight away at the non-strikers, and yeah, he's saying that's going down, surely. And he was right.
Ashes, the first of those matches being played at Edgbaston on Saturday evening.
You don't want to put it in the air close to Cameron Green. He's a big man, he's got huge wingspan, but he can't quite get to that one. And Moeen Ali goes past 3,000 runs in Test match cricket. It's a rare double, actually. 3,000 runs and 200 wickets. And not many have done that in the history of the game.
Yeah, that's a great milestone, actually.
That means fellow
just the 16 players actually in the history of the game that have done it. He becomes the 4th Englishman.
For the T20 World Cup in February, but has since played in
Oh, that's lovely. That is the best of Moeen Ali. It's a beautiful shot.
It is a 16-strong
just timed it sweetly, and I think he enjoyed it as well, looking at the smile that he gave to Zach Crawley. 50 up.
It's about the shot of the day, that. We talk about his backswing. He's got as good a backswing as anyone as you'll see in the game.
Series, which is 3 T20s and 3
Talking off there a little earlier, that a swing like that, you think about a Yuvraj Singh, had a beautiful big high backlift and beautiful swing of the bat.
4-point buffer having won the Test match.
And he smashes it. Very similar that to the first ball of the series at Edgbaston.
100 days ahead of the 2023 Men's ODI World Cup in India, fans can finally start planning their travels to India within India as the itinerary for the 13th edition of the showpiece event calendar has finally been released. It will begin with a rematch of the 2019 World Cup
final. Pretty good session for England, losing just the 1 wicket. That of Ben Duckett, who went early on to Mitchell Stark for 1, but the partnership
there will be
worth 52 now between Moeen Ali, who's played nicely at number 3, he's 31. Zach Crawley is 26. England go to lunch 61 for 1, trailing by 256.
Ahmedabad will of course also host the final of this 13th edition of the World Cup. India's World Cup begins against Australia in Chennai on October 8th, a week before they play Pakistan. They will, in the middle of their campaign, have back-to-back fixtures against England and New Zealand. The one against England will be played in Lucknow, and given the pitches we saw there in the IPL, that could make for a riveting battle. Pakistan, on the other hand, will start their campaign with their first 2 games
Stark this time with the new ball. Stark, the wicket taker, 1 for 18 from 6.
Campaign will also be played only at 5 venues,
and a couple for
Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, Bengaluru, Chennai and Kolkata. As hosts,
Lunch day
India
2,
will
England trailing by 256.
games at 9 different venues. Australia will travel to 8 different venues for their 9 games, while England feature in 7 locations.
Yes,
but we do have 3 to 4 days of gap for every team. The travel shouldn't be that much of an issue. Additionally, each team at some point in the tournament will get a break of about 6 to 7 days.
Don't you wish your phone was fun like this?
A tough back half to the league stage. Runners-up at the last 2 editions. This time they have a run of 4 back-to-back games against India, Australia, South Africa and Pakistan. So that's something they will have to take stock of as they build up to the World Cup. They will also feature in 3 of the 6 day games that will happen at this edition. These day games will kick off at 10:30 a.m. IST, while the daylight games start at 2 p.m. local time. Just taking a look at the venues, 10 of them in total for this edition. Kolkata will host an ODI World Cup for the first time since 1996, while Dharamshala and Lucknow will be host to these foreign ODI World Cups for the first time. The semi-finals are slated to take place at Wankhede and Eden Gardens. India, if they are to qualify, will play the semi-finals in Mumbai, unless they take on Pakistan.
Show the world what it means to be a fan at fanatics.co.uk, a collection of officially licensed fan gear. Fanatics.co.uk, officially licensed everything.
To lead and inspire with innovation means progressing through technology with impeccable attention to detail.
Which of the matches are you looking forward to? Not just India, but other games, other countries, which are the fixtures that you're looking forward to?
Innovation partner
I'm looking
of
forward
Sky
for
Sports.
England-India match. That will be a tough match. I think England is playing really well at the moment in one-day cricket. So India is one of the favourites in my mind because of playing in home and they know the condition and they know how to win in India. So this match will be very, very interesting in India because that is something I want to watch. That match.
There is, I mean, of course, no home country had won the World Cup. Now home countries are winning the World Cup because obviously conditions are conducive. But let me ask you, with the fact that, I mean, India is not just a country, right? It's so far and wide. Conditions differ within India as well. Tell me, according to you, while seeing the strengths of teams, I know the squads are not announced as yet, but as far as the strengths of teams are concerned, who do you think the conditions will favor, or which countries do you think will be able to take advantage of these conditions?
Definitely subcontinent teams will favor the wickets and everything because you think a lot of good spinners are there because if you take Afghanistan, the batting is not that great, but the spin attack is tremendous. Like India, Sri Lanka has a good spin attack. So like that, you have the subcontinent. Always when you're playing in subcontinent, there is a chance of coming 2 subcontinent teams coming to the finals. Exceptional, I think, in 1987, England-Australia came. Other than that, last time we said 2 best teams who came to the final and the best team won, 2011. So always when you're happening in subcontinent, there is a chance of subcontinent team is winning the World Cup is more chance.
A lot of players are from Australia, South Africa, England. They're coming to play in IPL and they perform well. But in IPL, they'll get a good wickets. But we've seen that same players, when the balls start turning, they have no clue how to play. Still, they don't have a clue how to play. So if they'll get a good wicket, yes, so they are used to of conditions. But still, I prefer that because if somebody is playing in Indian condition or subcontinent condition as a child and he grows up and play for their country, he has a better idea than anybody else who was coming from outside a subcontinent. I think it's changed a little bit, but still, I'm agreeing with Murli sir that subcontinent team has a
better chance to win the World Cup in subcontinent. Often you look at the 96 World Cup, Sri Lanka won. Whenever World Cup happening in subcontinental, that India or Sri Lanka or Pakistan qualify for the semi-finals and finals.
Reverse swept, and that'll be a half century.
There's some international teams that outside the subcontinent teams that are pretty strong as well. Only if I was to ask you to pick some, there's the defending champions, of course. England, there's Australia, who's doing really well. Don't count out New Zealand. So if you have to pick one of these to do well in Indian conditions, which is that team?
I think England will do well because they are in good form and they are playing the test matches also like a one-day, like, you know, it is favoring a little bit. But still, I believe like India-Pakistan final will be a wonderful final. That's what I think, because even Pakistan is a good side because they got good spinners and good bowlers and batters as well, same as India. So I think this World Cup will be something going to happen like that. It looks like it. My feeling is.
Corley has said, thank you very much. I've been nicking and nudging the seamers. I'm going to get stuck in to the part-time off it.
A test that's been evenly
This is always the danger. You don't play a specialist spin bowler.
To 3 wickets to the off spin of Ashley Gardner late on the 4th day here at Trent Bridge.
One mistake that Australians did, every time they got on top of the game, especially when they were batting, they gave it away by playing some meek shots, and that's exactly what England shouldn't be doing.
But it was Sophie Eccleston.
Full toss. That got what it deserved. Up over mid-on. Another boundary.
Now England are going to have to
good batting from England.
Successful run chase in women's test history and score the highest score.
Now Josh Hazlewood. No, it's actually Pat Cummins. He hasn't picked that up. That was a chance. Noel Nelly will go to 50. But Pat Cummins went the wrong way there. That was not well struck to mid on, but the Australian captain didn't pick it up. It went the wrong way.
Finally gets his 15th set 50. He's looking good here. He's played the fast bowlers well so far.
Punches out through mid-on, no, but Cummins does well.
Well, we thought it was going to be Annabelle Sutherland's day. She scored 137 not out from number 8 to help Australia to 473 here at
plays the ball and Cummins doesn't get there
for a women.
Maybe another tough chance for Pat Cummins.
However, Tammy Beaumont had something to say about that. She's unbeaten on 100 overnight.
Can't get the hands under it.
218 for 2 in reply. Now, her knock wasn't without a little bit of luck. She was on 61 when she struck Alana King, the leg spinner, into her boot. The ball looped up to Phoebe Litchfield, who held on its short leg. However, the catch wasn't given. Australia didn't call for a review, and replay showed the ball had come straight off the boot, not hit the ground. So a little bit of luck there, but Tammy Beaumont cashed in. She joins her captain Heather Knight as only 2 England women to now have scored a century in all 3 formats. They shared a century partnership today. Heather Knight made a half century before she was out, and Nat Sitterbrunt is on 41 not out, having scored a fair clip on a batting-friendly surface. That said, Australia's seamers in particular did struggle for rhythm, struggled for length, and England made them pay. They still trail by 255 runs, but they're only 2 wickets down. So going into day 3, this still remains a really tight
shot one to Moeen Ali. Moeen Ali taking full control of it, but finding the man. But a really good catch there by Usman Khawaja, diving to his right.
India kickstart their countdown.
Just what Australia needed. Something to go their way, and it was created by Khawaja. Good innings from Moeen Ali. Departure 54. England now 130 for 2.
Especially given so many of India's important ODI players are still on the road to recovery.
Finds the gap, finds the boundary. Goes around the ground. Crowder up. We're into this game.
But the
this Ashes just keeps giving. A wicket falls, in walks the new batter, the best batter for England, Joe Root. What does he do? First ball, short ball, pulls it between deep square leg.
He becomes your backup wicket keeper, he becomes a backup middle order batter as well. in that department,
ball behind the square, you'll get two more here. Hazelwood's not got the line right at all here. Zach Crawley. He tends to move the older ball in a lot. Josh Hazelwood to the right hand, he's too straight at the moment to Zach Crawley.
So India are persisting with Surya Kumar Yadav. Remember, Shreyas Iyer
balls between those two men. This will be four more.
He's consistent on a form in ODI cricket before his own
exciting batting from Zach Crawley.
This series against West Indies presents an opportunity to the likes of Surya Kumar Yadav.
That is a shot and a half there by Zach Crawley. Two men there for catching at short mid-wicket. Short ball coming at him. Doesn't think twice. He rolls his blade and gets it in the gap. Whistles away to the boundary.
Jaydev Unadkat and Mukesh Kumar continue to
high quality cricket being played here. Good batting, intense bowling
against Australia in the ODIs that preceded the IPL. Unadkat, of course, brings in that left arm angle, which India...
He's gone straight, too straight again, Hazelwood. Crawley's picking him up, he's walking across, he's using the angle. It's good batting. It's aggressive batting.
Right after last test.
Really taking it to Hazelwood at the moment.
Featured in India's ODI plans. So maybe a look in...
He drives from the outside. This one won't go for four. Harris will track it down. The crowd are absolutely loving this. Crawley's after the Aussies.
The 150 comes up for England. Some good-looking shots in this over.
There will be no Cheteshwar Pujara in India's test squad for the tour of West Indies. That means two new entrants in the test squad. Ruturaj Gaikwad and Yashasvi Jaiswal, both of whom have been on the fringe and been part of reserve contingents for India, will now be in India's squad. Yashasvi Jaiswal appears to be the likeliest suitor for India's next number 3.
If you're going to go with
it comes on the back of the sensational IPL season, which has established himself as a T20 superstar. He made more than 600 runs in this IPL season, the most prolific campaign for any uncapped batter in the tournament's history. But he also brings with him a weight of runs in his nascent first-class career. 15 games in, he's averaging more than 80 in first-class cricket and a strike rate touching 70, which might allude to what Rohit Sharma referred to after India's World Test Championship final defeat, which will also mean quite a sea change from the last two primary holders of that number 3 spot in Indian Test cricket, Cheteshwar Pujara and of course the present Indian coach Rahul Dravid, who between them have more than 260 tests, most of which were as India's number 3. Could this also mean the end of the road for Pujara? If that is the case, a Test veteran of 103 games, more than 7,000 runs, the architect of so many famous triumphs, will end his international career with his last shot having been that very un-Pujara-like ramp off back the World Test Championship final. Pujara won't like to lose hope altogether though, because in Ajinkya Rahane he saw someone who was out of the Indian Test mix, got himself back with runs in the WTC final. He was India's top scorer in that game at the Oval against Australia, and the reward for Rahane is not just a continued place in the Test squad, but he also is India's vice-captain, given the absence of a lot of leadership options around the squad. The other big takeaway for India comes in the pace department, where all of a sudden, with Mohammad Shami rested, Jasprit Bumrah still recovering from injury, and Umesh Yadav dropped from the squad, Mohammad Siraj, with 19 tests and 52 wickets behind him, becomes the leader of the pace pack. It's a pace contingent featuring Shardul Thakur, Jaydev Unadkat, Mukesh Kumar, and a return for Navdeep Saini, who's only played 2 tests, both of which came on that tour of Australia early in 2021.
That's about the shot of the day there. That has absolutely sizzled across this Old Trafford outfield. Wasn't quite wide enough on this occasion. Bang, there's the full release of those hands. And the fielders stood absolutely
as if there was any doubt that England will be sticking to their guns for the second test at Lord's
with his 12th
next week. That's been scotched by the call-up of Rehan Ahmed as cover for Moeen Ali in the wake of his finger injury that hampered his performance in the first test at Edgbaston. Now, there's no guarantee that Rehan's going to slot straight into the team. On the one hand, England do believe that Moeen can recover. Brendan McCullum was very happy with his performance, albeit when he took 3 wickets. They were important wickets with big turning deliveries that was basically what England are all about. They want to get wickets, and Moeen's ability to bowl magic balls is still valuable, as of course his ability to bowl the brand. This is just the way England play. And with Joe Root providing very serviceable off-spin, he is also cover within the team already to cover off the spinning angle. So they could go to Mark Wood and just play Root as the off-spinner and add an extra fast bowler on what was a flat deck against
Second
Ireland
50 coming
last
up
month.
off 26 deliveries, if you don't mind.
Mo in the side and trust his finger, which was being patched up with glue and all sorts in the interim, and trust him to rip through. But if they do believe they need a spinner at Lords, they also have faith in young Rehan Ahmed, 18 years old still, a guy who took 5 wickets, a memorable 5-wicket haul on debut, fairy tale haul at Karachi to seal England's 3-0 victory. He bowls leg breaks, he bowls with guts, he bowls with gusto. He bowls very differently to the sort of holding role that you'd normally get from a finger spinner. But frankly, England aren't very interested in holding rolls, they just want wickets and lots of them. Most of that. And clearly, he's a guy who loves to give the ball a lump. He was the first official Nighthawk in England's setup. Stuart Broad's role is the Nighthawk officially, but Rehan was the first guy to actually come out in that role at that moment and try to hit England to victory on the penultimate evening in Karachi. They will clearly have faith that this guy has got
earlier in the day, and he was
guts required to front up in a national series, and it's a huge statement of faith in him, a huge statement of faith in the way that England are playing. And even if he doesn't play, it is just laying down yet another marker that England are not
and he's going to continue in the same vein now. Afternoon, Kumar.
Good afternoon, Athers. Absolutely spot on, isn't it? What a brilliant innings. 16 innings since his...
The opening day of this Women's Ashes Test was a real winding affair with some fascinating storylines emerging. Elise Perry was on the cusp of her 3rd Test century when she fell agonisingly short on 99 to Lauren Filer, who provided another great storyline today. Making her international debut, Filer bowled with some genuine pace and ended the day with 2 wickets. Meanwhile, Sophie Eccleston, the vastly more experienced left-arm spinner, she bowled 28 of her 31 overs on the trot to finish with 3 wickets for the day. Now, Australia had been 83 for 2 at one point. Perry combined with Talia McGrath for a 119-run partnership, which put Australia back in control. Then the loss of some late wickets there had England's noses in front. At the end of the day, we had a partnership worth 77 between Annabelle Sutherland and Ashley Gardner, which evened things up again. And at the close, Australia are 328 for 7. Now remember, they bat deep. They've got Sutherland still at the crease. She's in fine touch. She's on 39 at the minute, but she comes into this match off the back of a century in the warm-up match. So this is turning into a really tight tussle with 4 days to go.
Wondered how long it would be. Wondered how long it would be before he plays that. He chooses his moments. And there was an opportunity
Australia's pulled off a pretty extraordinary victory here at
217 for 2.
It looked gone for them when they needed more than 50 with the 9th wicket pair coming together. But Pat Cummins played a blinder as captain. His best innings for Australia, helped by Nathan Lyon, who played superbly as well at number 10 to perhaps put to bed some thoughts. Australia have 3 number 11s, as Ollie Robinson said in that spicy press conference just a couple of days ago. It was a thrilling final day. Memories, of course, flooding back of 2005. But this was a bit of redemption for 2019 for Australia. Pat Cummins and Nathan Lyon were key parts of that dramatic final day where, of course, Ben Stokes stole the show, and Pat Cummins admitted that was on his mind as the victory here today. A really significant performance for the Australian captain.
He moves to 129. It's been an exhibition
in the game, and his
from
batting
Zach Crawley this afternoon and from Joe Root, who congratulate each other now on a 100 partnership, a rapid one. It's coming 82 balls.
To this very good Australian team. Generally, whoever wins the first Ashes Test does go on to win the series. So Australia have got a huge early market in this series, and they'll be very confident going to Lords after a few days off to reflect on this.
On the fielding side in a high pressure game. The line was wide enough for him to free his arms. Good strong stride down the track.
We've all heard the fable of the hare and tortoise, right? And that's pretty much what's just played out at Edgbaston. And another Ashes classic with England, this time losing by 2 wickets, having won by 2 runs in 2005 in an epic contest that really lit up a summer pretty much as this contest already has done. What we don't know about the hare and tortoise is what happened to the hare after he'd been beaten by the tortoise.
Just 25 overs.
As far as I know, the hare probably
and Australia had no answer at all.
Firstly to Crawley and Moeen Ali, and probably won a few races in the end because they're quite quick. And frankly, that I think is what's going to happen now with England. England have set themselves up in a way that they are not going to change their ways now. They've won 12 out of 14 tests by being this gung-ho Bazball inside that goes for hell for leather, is willing to lose in order to win. It just so happens that they've lost in the Ashes, which was always going to be the acid test, and Ben Stokes, speaking just now, sounded like a pretty emotionally beat-up captain, as he admitted. He looked as though he made the crucial breakthrough on that final day, but Pat Cummins, his opposite number, hunted him down and closed it out. But what England are sure to do, and it's pretty much a game with 2005 in mind. They lost that first Ashes test at Lords on that occasion. They didn't actually play a very good game on that occasion. They made too many errors, but showed enough in what they did with Harmison, obviously famously drawing blood on Ricky Ponting and all the rest of it. They showed enough with what they achieved in defeat on that occasion to turn it around by sticking to their guns and win thereafter 2-1 in an epic contest. And frankly, that's what's going to happen this time. England will not budge from their baseball mentality. They'll just do it better. And frankly, they need to do it better. They didn't have a very good game. Johnny Bairstow had a poor game behind the stumps. Moeen Ali and his busted finger obviously was a major factor in England not being able to exert control with spin on what was a pretty flat deck. And obviously, being a flat, lifeless deck, they lacked the express pace of Mark Wood, who didn't play in this game either. There are ways and means in which they can shore it up. They can play a much better baseball-y game as well. You know, their declaration will come under scrutiny, but actually their second innings, a slightly chaotic second innings, no one actually went on to make a 50, despite a lot of people, 9 or 10 of England's batsmen getting to double figures, in fact. No one quite turned it on in the way that they had done in that amazing run of form previously. So, in summary, Australia are the better team on the day. England, I think, will think fundamentally they're the better team overall. I think they made the running, they blew it. That was always likely to happen, given the way they play this pedal to the metal style. They're willing to lose in order to win. This time it went wrong, but like back them to come back in style. It's done.
New Nissan Qashqai with e-Power. A unique electrified experience, unplugged.
Okay, chefs, we are 3 months out from open.
Drywall.
TSM Cricket for Tamil Nengalukku vanakkam. Cricket with backs la Cricket TNPL 2023 review. Digital Dragons versus Singham Madurai Panthers. Toss fixed Digital Dragons. Match அப்படியே எடுத்து போயிட்டாங்க. Confidence clinical victory. Top of the table போயிட்டாங்க Digital Dragons. அருமையா லீட் பண்ணிட்டாங்க.
New season available to stream exclusively on Disney+.
மாதிரி இருந்தது. ஹரிநேஷாத் நல்லா ஆடிட்டு வந்தாரு. அந்த பிரேக் மீண்டும் ஒரு சின்ன பார்ட்னர்ஷிப் ஜே கவுசி கூட எடுத்து பார்க்கும்போது டபுள் பிரேக் த்ரூ ஒரே ஓவர்ல வருண் சக்கரவர்த்தி 12th ஓவர்ல வரவே முதல்ல டிஜிட்டல் டிராகன் 15th ஓவர்ல மீண்டும் ஒரு டபுள் பிரேக் த்ரூ. இந்த மாதிரி கிளஸ்டர்ஸ் விக்கெட் விட்டாங்க. 2 விக்கெட் வருண் சக்கரவர்த்தி 12th ஓவர்ல 2 விக்கெட் பாக்கி. அதுக்கு அஸ்வின் வாஷிங்டன் இந்த மாதிரி விக்கெட் ஆஃப்டர் விக்கெட் இருந்தாங்க கன்சிஸ்டன்டா. ஒரு மொமெண்டமே கிடைக்கல அந்த இன்னிங்ஸ்ல கடைசி வரைக்கும். அது காரணமாக 123 அப்படிங்கிறது தான் ரீச் பண்ண முடிஞ்சு. ஆல் அவுட் ஆயிட்டாங்க. இது கம்ப்ளீட் பண்ண முடியல. In reply, Digital Dragons ஒரு ஸ்பாட் ஆஃப் பாதர்னு சொல்லி ஆகும். இந்த போட்டியில மதுரைக்கு ஒரு பெரிய பாசிட்டிவ் பண்ணா அவருடைய போலிங் தான். ஃபாஸ்ட் பவுலர், சிஎஸ்கேக்கு நெட் பவுலரா இருந்திருக்காரு. இதுக்கு முன்னாடி திண்டுக்கல் டிராகன்ஸ் ஒரு ஆடி இருக்காரு. கிளாஸ காமிச்சாருங்க. கம்மியான டோட்டல் பட் பிரஷரை ஸ்ட்ரைட்டாவே மேல போட்டாருன்னா ஒரு சான்ஸ் எடுத்தாங்க. 3 விக்கெட் பவர் பிளேல எடுத்து கொடுத்தாரு. அவுட்ஸ்டாண்டிங்கா போட்டான்னு சொல்லியே ஆகணும். அந்த ஒரு 4 ஓவர்ஸ்ல 3 விக்கெட் கொடுத்தாங்க. ஒரு 30 பிரஷர் இருந்தது. பட் இந்திரஜித் அண்ட் ஆதித்ய கணேஷ் எக்கச்சக்கமான போட்டி பண்ணி எடுத்து போயிருக்காரு. எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் கிரிக்கெட்டர். நல்லா தளத்தில் எடுத்து போனாங்க. எப்பெல்லாம் தேவையோ அப்பதான் அந்த ஒரு பவுண்டரி தேவை கரெக்டா எடுத்தாங்க. சர்ப்ரைசிங்கா என்ன இருந்ததுன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா வாஷிங்டன் சுந்தரம் ரொம்ப லேட்டா உள்ள வந்தார். பை த டைம் அப்பயே ஆல்மோஸ்ட் மேட்ச் கைவிட்டு போயிடுச்சு. அவுட்ஸ்டாண்டிங் கேட்ச் பிடிச்சாரு. இன்ஃபேக்ட் என்ன பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் அந்த கேட்ச் அந்த டோர்னமெண்டா இருக்க போகுது. அருண் சூப்பரா பிடிச்சாரு. அதுக்கப்புறம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா எம்எஸ்என் போலிங்கே வரல. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் 10 ஓவர்ஸ் டார்கெட் பாத்தீங்கன்னா 124 போது நீங்க எம்எஸ்என் உள்ள கொண்டு வரல, வாஷிங்டன் சுந்தரியும் உள்ள கொண்டு வரல. லெஃப்ட் ஸ்பின்னர், ஆஃப் ஸ்பின்னர் ரெண்டு பேருமே யூஸ் பண்ண எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் கிரிக்கெட்டர். ரொம்பவே சர்ப்ரைசிங்கா இருந்தது. அல்மிசான் ஏன் அப்படி பண்ணாரு அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து ஒரு யோசிக்க வேண்டிய விஷயம். டெஃபினட்டா அங்கிருந்து வாஷிங்டன் சுந்தர் டேக் ஆன் பண்றாரு 12th ஓவர்ல. இந்திரஜித் 3 6 1 4 ஒரு கொஞ்சம் நஞ்சம் சின்ன ஒரு விக்கெட் விட்டு அவர் கோப் பண்றது எல்லாமே அங்கேயே காலி ஆயிடுச்சு. அதன் பிறகு ஜஸ்ட் ஒரு ஃபார்மாலிட்டி இந்த மாதிரி ஆயிடுச்சு. கம்ப்ளீட் டீம் பெர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ், சூப்பர் விக்டரி. மேல பவுலர்ஸ் அருமையா செட்டப் பண்ணி கொடுத்துட்டாங்க. சொன்ன மாதிரி டிஜிட்டல் டிராகன்ஸ் டாப் ஆஃப் தி டேபிள் போயிட்டாங்க. மதுரை பாட்டம்ல இருக்காங்க. 2 ஆடி 2 டிஃபீட். இந்த டோர்னமெண்ட்ல நீங்க சீக்கிரமா 1-2 வின்ஸ் போட்டு மேல வர ஆரம்பிக்கணும். இல்ல ரொம்ப கஷ்டமா போயிடும். நாளைக்கு ஜாயிண்ட் வின்னர்ஸ் லைகா கோவை கிங்ஸ் அண்ட் சேப்பாக் சூப்பர் கில்லிஸ் ஆடுறாங்க. சூப்பர் போட்டே போடுங்க. செம்ம டஃப் ஃபைட் இருக்கு ரெண்டு பேரும் சொல்லியாங்க. ஸ்பிரிட்டட் டீம்
tracks on the crease, that ball seemed to stay down.
பாக்கிறதுக்கு ரெண்டுக்கல்ல நாளைக்கு லைகா கோவை கிங்ஸ் vs சேப்பாக் சூப்பர் கில்லிஸ். மறக்காம டிஎன்பிஎல் ரிலேட்டட் ஆல் அப்டேட்ஸ் உங்களுக்கு ESPN Cricket for தமிழ்ல வரும். ஃபாலோ பண்ணுங்க, சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க. பை ஃப்ரம்
He wasn't going to make a call, and part of the reason for that might be because Cummins has overstepped, not for the first time in the series.
And not for the first time that he's come to England, that he's bowled a no ball, and there's been a wicket, or at least there's been a shout for a wicket.
Bowling attack. It's Ben Stokes' knee. He's given us a little play today. It sounds promising.
Get the feeling that when you look at it, probably had a bottom edge onto the pads, or an inside edge rather. In a way, it's been a blessing in disguise because you almost went for the review and have lost the review.
Just a hint of, I hope it was reverse swing, but a slight amount of movement back in.
Yeah, it was strange, you know. His eyes were up there. But,
Goodness gracious me, no respect whatsoever. The only thing unusual about that is that it didn't go for 6. Something that you're used to seeing though when Joe Root is at the crease is him raising his bat for a 50. His 59th in Test match cricket to go along with 30 hundreds. Beautifully played. So good at this. You get it to third man with that reverse scoop, but when he does it like that, it is glorious. That is gorgeous. Straight down the ground from Crawley. Perfect on drive. And has repeated the dose. Slightly aerial. And come back for a couple. And may even go all the way for 4. And that, his 17th boundary 4. Brings up his second score in excess of 150. Well played, Zach Crawley.
Old Trafford standing and applauding for what's been a brilliant inning so far. He's looked good right from the outset. Played some brave shots, but he's stuck to it. He's believed that's his method. He wants it to work his way, and he's made it happen today.
Battles in this series will be England's batters against Nathan Lyon, because Lyon has a pretty good record in the Ashes. I think he's got over 100 wickets in the Ashes now and averaging sort of 28, 29.
Crawley will keep the strike.
But we have seen at times over the past couple of years, and I'm thinking particularly that most recent India tour to Australia, that there have been times where teams have been able to put him under pressure. Now, I'm not saying that England are going to smack him for 6 and over, but we have seen throughout this past 12 months that England have been very keen to try and isolate weak links in opponent attacks, and have generally been pretty successful at taking players down at certain times. So I think in the first series under McCullum and Stokes, we saw Michael Bracewell get absolutely met throughout the series.
Was beasted.
Exactly, the one-off test against India, Shardul Thakur went miles, and that's sort of been a pattern that's extended through with people like I think Zahid Mahmood in Pakistan.
Again,
Neil Wagner in certain phases against New Zealand as well.
Could be an overthrow.
And I think England will be looking at Lyon and thinking that he's at least worth having a dip against at some point in the series. I'm not saying they're going to try and score at 6 and over throughout, but I think given England's general prowess against spin,
Crawley has played some beautiful drives in the last half hour.
At least have a go against him, and I think that given the type of pitches we might see, it might be a reckless gamble, and Lyon might roll through them on the final day on some dry surfaces. We've obviously not had a lot of rain over here for the last 3 weeks, but I think there's also a chance that they'll put him under pressure, and maybe he'll have the sort of series he did against India a couple of years ago. So for me, that's actually I don't think it's been discussed anywhere near as much as Crawley and Pope against the big 3 quicks. But I feel as though that could be a real key battle in the series, and I think that personally I feel as though that will go a long way to determining the outcome.
Looking as if he's got a niggle.
It was always going to be the case. There was the fielding earlier when he went down and he felt his leg. Well, it's going to be
England have named their squad for the Women's Ashes.
The case with Australia playing that World Test Championship game. They were going to be better prepared for the first Test than England, as it showed.
11 which drew in a Test match with South Africa at Taunton last summer, but with a few new names.
But obviously to play 6 on the bounce, and some of these lads would have played 4 or 5 or even 6 in Cummins' case, and no Lyon. The longer England stay in the series, the more Australia fall apart physically.
While Filer is a seam bowler who...
That's why the next couple of days are going to be so crucial. Get to the Oval 2-all. No Lyon, Stark with an injury, Cummins playing 6 on the bounce.
So she'll go into the
next seam
bowling option.
I just have a feeling if England win this and they go on to convert this, I think the Ashes swings firmly 3-2 to England.
Debuts against South Africa last year and retain their places in this Ashes still. As do Tammy Beaumont and Emma Lamb.
Run-out chance at the keeper's end. Carey does well, but Root gets back.
Who's yet to play a Test despite a long career.
That's the kind of luck that Australia needs, but it evades them on this occasion. You need the batters to make a mistake, a false shot, or in this case a run out. The Root, few smiles and everything is okay.
Davidson Richards, who like Wyatt is part of the Test squad, but is going to play that
game up. Huge contrast between the two sides is how England recognises when they're ahead. But they start off with the
to get her bowling loads up and to bat a little bit further up the order just as she returns to full fitness. So effectively, this squad represents
down the pitch, down the ground. Will it go all the way?
Last year, but also
not quite, but real intent now from Crawley.
It's been one-day mode, now it's T20 mode.
Squirted behind square. Crawley wants 2, he'll stroll back. .300 up for England, and we're in the 52nd over. 300 for 2. Another thumping drive from Zach Crawley. It's going to be a teaser. Ball's going to win. Crawley goes down the ground over long on. Has he got all of it? He has. He is piling on the pain.
Well, it's an effortless 6, really. Cover drive followed with a thump over mid-on. Just a nice, easy swing of the bat. And into the 180s.
You say it's power and timing, isn't it? It's the combined force that means he hits the ball so hard. Quite remarkable, some of the cricket shots he's played since that lunch break as we went into the afternoon session. England are into the lead by 3. Scooped. Very clever. He's only going to be 1. He seems frustrated with himself that he hasn't hit it for 6. .200 partnership comes up with that rather sedate single from Joe Root, but there's been nothing sedate about the partnership. It has come up from 182 deliveries. Oh no, this is really sloppy now. Smith, I think it is, down at deep fine leg, has hurled it back at the bowler's end. Green wasn't there. Cummins didn't get round properly to back up. It looks a tired Australian skipper, a tired Australian side, sloppy. Oh, he's dragged it on. Round the wicket and short, has eventually worked for Australia and Cameron Green. And Zach Crawley has dragged on to end a magnificent innings of 189.
And to a man, almost, Australia's players go up and congratulate Zach Crawley. They recognise a great innings when they've seen one. Stephen Smith, the latest to go up and say well played. And Old Trafford now rises in unison to Zach Crawley. It has been a fabulous innings. A player under pressure at the start of this series, inconsistent performances, but shown flashes of brilliance, and more than just a flash here. 189 in 182 balls, one of the great Ashes innings on this ground.
336 for 3. Crawley played magnificently. Softer ball, stayed down a wee bit. He was expecting the short one, and all he could do was under-edge it back onto the stumps. But he got congratulated to by the Australian players, and a terrific ovation here at Emirates Old Trafford.
Really good, that, wasn't it, from Australia's players, just the recognising what was a special innings. You don't go up and congratulate everybody every time they get out having got 100, but there was something special about that innings, and they recognised it to a man.
That's nicely played. Beautifully placed, as much as anything. Overshane will do well and save a run, but it was a lovely shot, that. Just leant on that. Tried to hit it too hard. It just placed it nicely.
Again, indication of just how good a pitch this is at the moment. As the 350 comes up for England in the 61st over. That's why I keep going. Maybe keep going. Try to get 200 on, 250 on if you can do it fast enough, and leave yourself in a position where you might not need to have to bat again.
Oh, it's right through him. It's kept a bit low, that. It's gone right through Joe Root. And it's very good news, I suppose, from Australia. They've got a wicket, but they won't want to see too much of that because they're behind in the game.
Yeah, I reckon that might be the third time I've seen the ball scuttle a little bit from back of the leg, hard into the ground. Oh, and did it scuttle? It's almost a Nasser Hussain special, that one, a double bouncer. Joe Root looks pretty nonplussed. Nothing you could do about that, Joseph. 84 from 95 from Root. It has been a splendid innings from England's former captain and best player. And despite being from across the Pennines, they have loved every second of it here in Manchester. 3-5-1 for 4.
The outside edge, but it's away. Down to third man, so Stokes is away. Get 2. Oh, that's a nasty one. Hazelwood round the wicket, and that surprised the England captain, that.
It's the value of a surprise short ball, isn't it? Ben Stokes was diving forward, really. Batting out of his crease, looking to get forward. If you make the short ball something that happens once in a while, you can get that sort of reaction from a batter.
And now he drives. Got the length ball, put it away behind point. Stokes on the move. Oh, lovely shot. Stark does well, though. But now he's down again here, Mitchell Stark. I was just talking about him. And what's he done here? He's grabbing at his shoulder.
Left shoulder. Pulled, and again, that could make it to the boundary. It does.
ball, back him up, back him up. Ends with a dot. England end a fabulous day. What a day of cricket they have had. Backing up their bowlers yesterday. Their batters have done the job. They have a lead already of 67 with 6 wickets in hand, and we're only at the end of day 2. They have progressed the game quickly.
Yeah, that's another special day of Test match cricket. We've been treated to so many through this series already. But you've got to put your hand up and say, well done, well played to England today. That was outstanding.
Well, another extraordinary day in this Ashes series, and it belonged to England and to Zach Crawley, who scored a memorable 189. Great contributions from Joe Root, who got a shocking delivery that went along the floor. He made 84, and Moeen Ali was good at number 3, making 54. But a day for Zach Crawley and England, 189 for Crawley. England lead by 67 runs. That afternoon session was quite extraordinary. 178 runs scored in 25 overs. So England have put time into the game. They might need that time because there is weather around. Hopefully Friday will be clear and we'll see what they can do. Day 3, 10:15, Sky Sports Cricket.
Sky Sports Cricket. Feel it all.
Oh, it's finished, has it? I'll get my coat. Anyone seen it? Oh, look. I'm wearing it.
Vitality proudly sponsors coverage of the Ashes on Sky Sports.
Come along then. I am ready to be carried.
Meet Febrez's Miracle Spray. New Febreze Fabric Refresher. I literally use this every day to enjoy its freshness for hours. After I make the bed, after I catch my dog on the couch. So I can wear my jacket one more time. It even makes shoes smell fresh. Its water-based formula actually fights odors and doesn't just cover them up with scent. Over 1,000 uses. Febreze Fabric Refresher. Safe to use around cats and dogs.
Don't leave. Calling all Big Mac fans. The Double Big Mac is here. Only until the 1st of August. Can't stay alive.
What unites people? Stories. There's nothing in the world more powerful than a good story.
Please enjoy.
And the best stories are the ones that last forever.
Tell the world what happened.
You trust me?
With more of the best series than any other subscription service. Find your next obsession only on Sky.
In support of Ukraine, join 2 of its football legends.
The blue and the yellow team.
As they captain an all-star lineup featuring some of the game's greatest ever players. As well as celebrity guests.
Join us. Play your part to support Ukraine.
Game for Ukraine, live from Stamford Bridge, Saturday the 5th of August at 5 on Sky Max.
Get ready for a feel-good summer with Sky Cinema.
Prepare yourself.
I am so pumped up! Awesome! Can you feel this?
Don't see it. Feel it.
Think that you're feeling awesome! I feel good right now!
I got a good feeling about this.
Feel-good movies for the whole family this summer on Sky Cinema.
This is the Belgian Grand Prix.
Every driver has lost this track. He's been in a class of one, hasn't he?
The MSC Cruises Belgian Grand Prix, live on Sky Sports.
Ashes done, but plenty at stake.
Yeah, we've got a lot of pride to take.
Can England avoid an Ashes series defeat? The final test, live on Sky Sports.
Four runs? Not on your Nelly. Going on 1 run is bad enough.
Vitality proudly sponsors coverage of the Ashes on Sky Sports.
I'll just wait here for the car.
What a cricketer he is.
It's a truly astonishing performance, this.
Magnificent, magnificent. What an innings, what a player. Take a bow, Ben Stokes. What a beauty from the big man.
He's putting on a show.
I cannot believe that, I really can't. The Ashes well and truly alive.
Well, it was Zach Crawley's day on the second day here at Emirates Old Trafford. England in a good position, but hoping the rain would stay away for day 3. Welcome to highlights. This is where we would start the third day. Crawley yesterday, magnificent, making 189. Ben Stokes was unbeaten on 24, and England's lead was 67.
I reckon they're going to have some fun this morning with the forecast being the way it is for the weekend and England needing to win this match to have any hope of regaining the Ashes. They are not going to leave anything to chance. That's the lead, 67. They'll push that on and get on with the bowling. Get on with it, Stokes. A good solid block to start the day. Well, there you go. One block and then he's charging Hazelwood. He had a bit of a stare at him. Stokes' first runs for him on day 3. Gives himself room, goes leg side, and he smashed that away. Goes with a beautiful in-swinging Yorker. Great comeback from Stark.
Yeah, that's an excellent riposte.
Slightly lower in his stance there. Oh, that's tight. Direct hit, and he was gone there, Stokes. I think Carey dropped it anyway. But direct hit, and Stokes was struggling.
Good work from Nisa again. He got off the rope really quickly here. And that flat throw would have had Stokes well short. And I think even if Carey had gathered it, he might have been gone as well. Handling error, rare handling error from Carey.
Goes leg side, and he smashed that for 4. 400 up for England, 50 partnership as well. No, run out chance, direct hit gone, misses.
And again, Cummins gets an opportunity. Dropped catch yesterday. Had his mind frazzled by the partnership between Crawley and Root. There's another chance there that goes begging.
Brooke had given up. He'd given up and then realised he had to get in because the ball was in Stark's hands. That's been crunched and the man is behind square on the offside for some reason. And Brooke has hit 3 or 4 in front of square.
This is a magnificent cover drive, it really is. Because everything has to be perfect here. We've talked about how soft the ball is. So again, Brooke doesn't need to get the foot right to the pitch of it because he gets his head over there. The weight is absolutely perfect. The bat comes down last. Little flick of the wrists as he goes through impact. And that's where that power comes from. Weight transfer, flick of the wrist, zooms away to the fence.
That's a full toss, and this time it's to the right hand of extra cover. 4 more. Oh, late dab. A lovely late dab for 4. 3 boundaries in the over for Brook and England. It's 4-2-2 for 4.
To the England captain. Warm applause for a man who is leading England brilliantly. Bowled in. It's been a good spell, this, from Cummins. He's just kept Stokes quiet. And then England's captain looked to advance and hit to the favoured leg side, and Cummins got one through the defences. So the end of Stokes for 51. England lose their 5th.
Once again looking for that onside. Cummins a bit quicker than Green and perhaps even Stark in this spell. And Stokes, strangely, not going straight down the track. But he's gone for a well-made 51. He's done enough damage, in England are 437 for 5.
Starts with an attempted Yorker. It's been a good spell, this, though. Brook goes downtown. Couple of steps down the pitch to Green, and helps himself over mid-on. He moves to 45.
Just a matter of time. They were trying to hold a length at him. They've gone away from the short ball plan. Once he was very comfortable knowing that, he used his feet. There's no risk of the ball being banged in short. Only 2 fielders now on the left side, saving boundaries square and behind square.
That's 50 for Harry Brook. 75 at Headingley 10 days ago to steer England home, and now a 50. A bit of consistency, that's what the England crowd and support staff would love to see. Fine player, fine young player on the rise, Harry Brook.
Yeah, he's played well, very circumspect last evening, made sure he got himself through and closed the play last night. He's a bit more expansive this morning, 50 off 80 balls, only the 4 boundaries there. A couple of those were the beautiful cover drives early this morning off Mitchell Stark.
They might look for 2 here, and they'll get that. Good running from Johnny Bairstow. Oh, that's a bit more of a heave-ho on that occasion. He's used his feet a couple of times, Harry Brook, but he's got to the pitch of the ball and played with a more orthodox straight bat back over the bowler's head. Oh, he's got that fine. He's gone a long way across and got it down to a very fine leg. Improvisation at its best there.
It's just a bit of movement here for Hazelwood through the air. A little bit of swing.
New ball doing its bit. Thrown a little away. So yesterday, post the game, when I was walking back, young kid and mum wanted to take a picture, and they ended up taking the picture. But then the young kid looks at me and goes, "Do you think I could use the baseball method to play my cricket?"
was the reply.
For a start, the mother immediately said, "That's why I'm taking you to see the cricket. I want you to bat like that." And I was thinking, wow, that's inspiration for you, isn't it? And that's what that man has instilled, Baz McCullum.
Yeah, everybody's absolutely engaged with it.
Atis, you think you would have survived this Baz ball technique?
In fact, Ben Stokes, before the series began, said that openers like Alistair Cook, and I think he mentioned my name, no way, not getting in the team. Got to up the game. Brooker's up this, it's a top edge. It's gone very high and has been taken down on the boundary by Mitchell Starc. Top edge. Hazelwood strikes with the second new ball.
The one thing with baseball cricket is always attacking, and this is what happens sometimes when you don't get it off the middle of the bat. Stepping out, looking to hoik it over deep mid wicket. Finds Mitchell Starc at fine leg. But this time, he stands on his knees and makes sure he's caught it perfectly.
It was a well-judged catch, wasn't it? Brookie's just hanging around just to make sure that umpires have checked everything and all is good. It is good. That heel was inside the rope. Oh, my word. Inside edge. That must have been close to the dollies. Bairstow gets a 4, but with a huge dollop of luck.
Great ball this from Mitchell Starc. Sometimes it can be a cruel game. Bairstow riding his luck on that. Going hard at it, gets the inside edge. Finds the way to the leg side boundary. You see the big smiles on both the batsman and the bowler. But this time the batsman was lucky.
Yeah, the danger to the left armour is trying to drive too square on the offside, particularly if that ball is just coming back, as Mitch Starc can do so skillfully with the new ball. There's a swing there. Definitely more swing with this ball than there was at the start of the England innings. Australia didn't bowl very well at all with a new ball, in my view. Lovely bit of timing this. Oh my word, that has flown to the boundary, and he really just helped it. He didn't force it, he just helped it with the swing and timed it gorgeously. 486 for 6. Now Woakes, will Hazelwood find a bit more of that swing in the air? Yes, there is. It's a very good ball to get, and Woakes is done. Beautiful delivery from Hazelwood. Said he's just got it to move in the air. This second new ball working for Australia.
Bang on there. Ricky said that this is the right time to take the new ball because they were looking to score much, and you could see as soon as they've taken it, 2 wickets have fallen. First Brook, the second Chris Woakes, out to an absolute peach of a delivery from Josh Hazelwood.
It's funny, wasn't it? There was no reaction at all. Woakes pushed forward, there was very little appeal, I think because it was such an obvious edge, and then he just turned and walked off. Bairstow cuts powerfully. Looking in good order here. 30 from 35, 34 from 36. Well, this is terrific batting from Johnny Bairstow. We wondered whether that excellent catch might bleed into his batting. The confidence is growing with every boundary he hits. That flat batted back cut, now a lovely on drive down the ground for 4.
First innings of the Ashes Test when he batted really well. After that he's been short of runs, but this inning so far has looked really good. Did a couple of lovely cut shots.
He's going to hurry and try and get back for 2, and he does.
Taking the Australia attack to soar. England bring up their 500. They've been positive all the way through.
this time gets in on the act as Hazelwood just strays to leg. Bowled him, flattened the off stump. And that is a very decisive way to finish the session for Josh Hazelwood and Australia. Mark Wood getting his off stump knocked flat, and his innings is done. So 8 down England, with Johnny Bairstow beaten on 41. Wood just playing a backward defensive shot, the ball beating the outside edge and absolutely dismantling that off pole. A good morning though. England have stretched that lead to 189. Bairstow played really well there for his 41. Stokes and Brook equally so, 51 to the captain, 61 to Brook.
Confirmation, the bowling card. Hazelwood getting the 4 wickets. Has bowled 8 overs today. But Pat Cummins really started the day on a good note. Mitchell Starc chipping in with 2. The rest of the bowlers going for some stick.
Lunchtime, day 3. England not done yet in their first innings. They're 506 for 8, the lead 189.
Boundaries? What boundaries? Laithwaite's.
Amazing deals now on at Curry's, and with our price promise, you won't get it cheaper. Get summer ready with the Dyson Airwrap Multi-Styler at $479.99 with free next day delivery. Amazing deals on our range of hot point washing machines like these 8-kilo models, now from just $299. Save up to £400 on these LG Smart 4K TVs with AI Sound Pro for an atmospheric audio experience from just $369. And save up to £700 on LG fridge freezers, like this Instaview from $1599. Or this fridge freezer for only $699. And Curry's.
Win at staying in and Boss working from home. Get BT broadband, even at ultra-reliable full fibre, for $29.99 a month with no upfront costs on a 24-month contract. Plus a £20 money-back speed guarantee. Offer ends 27th of July. Switch to BT today and win at staying in.
This summer, get Plusnet's full fibre from only $24.99 a month and make your broadband fuller, faster, more reliable, and oh, here we go. What a catch. Offer ends 9th of August. Search Plusnet Fibre now. That's a plus.
What we have here in Hollywood is high art.
Babylon. Available now on Sky Cinema.
All out. No worries. Laithwaite's.
Feels like England went relatively quiet in that last session, but still got 122 and are still scoring at 5.27 runs per over in this innings. That's how well they've played. Australia much better in that last session. Got their plans right. The bowlers were spot on. The field is spread far and wide, just a solitary slip, and everyone else is out for Bairstow. He's going to take the single, which he would with Stuart Broad, because he doesn't hang around too much. Doesn't waste delivery, Stuart Broad. Oh. Johnny Bairstow not leaving his crease, making sure the ball doesn't go back onto his stumps. And the covers have been called on. It is raining a bit harder. Australians are keener to leave the field than the English batters. Broad and Bairstow are hanging. Broad wants to stay out there. Oh, they'll take that, England. 4 down the leg side. 4 byes.
Not the most auspicious start for Mitchell Starc.
Toe end of the bat. Could this be 5 for Hazlewood? No, it lands safely. Mid-off and mid-on were trying to get there, neither could.
Lucky, the shot was on, took a good option. Broad just looking at the toe of his bat, didn't really make good contact, but everything going England's way still.
Including the lead. The lead now 200 for England. 1,000 runs against Australia, Stuart Broad. Gives himself room, goes over the offside. Again, off the toe end of the bat. That's gone a long way up. Hazlewood says, mine. Takes the catch. 5 for Josh Hazlewood, his 10th in international cricket. And a good comeback into the side. Stokes doesn't move, so it looks like Jimmy Anderson will make his way to the middle. He does.
And the declaration is delayed. Good bowling by Hazlewood. Stride hard, being expensive like all the rest of the Australian bowlers. A big heave down the ground by Broad. It goes nowhere but up. Gratefully pouched by Hazlewood for his 5th. Stuart Broad goes for 7. And England 526 for 9.
He's hit that well. Oh, really well. Well, there's a nice way to bring up your 50. A short arm jab over backward square leg for 6.
There's been a lot spoken about the man, especially his keeping, but for a second, don't doubt his batting. The first innings of the Ashes, he gets a 50. And now he's back again, getting his 25th 50. Absolutely smoking pull shot. There are men in the deep. All fielders on the ring. We're used to Stokes seeing hitting boundaries, but this time it was Johnny Bairstow.
Fired up too, Johnny Bairstow. Pointed towards the change rooms. Ooh, good Yorker, good follow-up, really good. Johnny's keen, isn't he? He's enjoying this.
Some drama, some theatre there from Johnny.
Oh, look, beautiful time. Starc tried for the Yorker, just over-pitched, but Bairstow was good enough, quick enough with his hands. A boundary to finish the over, a 6 to start it.
You can see they've set no mid-off, no man in front, everybody behind square, everybody square of the wicket, all closing in, stopping the single there. You can see what's coming. If you're James Anderson, all you're getting ready is for the bouncer.
You often wonder in these situations whether Hazlewood might have one go at the stumps. Now, Marnus Labuschagne moves into a short point also. That's a wide. They're going to run. And they get through for a bye. Good thinking from Bairstow. Really good thinking. Once again, he's tucked it through that gap at mid-wicket before more. His timing was impeccable. Bairstow. Jimmy Anderson says, take that. True square leg for 4. England captain loves it.
A new spell starts. As a batter, you're always hoping that will be a lose now. Hold the short one with Jimmy Anderson. You know all the tricks a bowler would do. Steps out, and goes for one. Pat Cummins immediately removes the slip and puts him a deep square leg.
Has he got enough on it? Oh, yes, he has. I said they're big boundaries. It hasn't stopped Johnny Bairstow. It's almost out of the ground. Geez, hit that well.
The 550 for England comes up. Johnny Bairstow playing a lovely hook shot.
It's nicely hit, and 6 more. Smith does really well to try and stop it, but he can't. He's just hit it too well. Oh, my word, that's the best of all of them. That has gone a mile. It's not just over the rope and the fence. It's almost over the stand. It's just caught the last 6 in the stand.
Calm down, Johnny. Calm down. World Cup is 3 months away. Why the hurry? Oh my God, what a shot that was. Just the sound, the poise. The moment you heard that, you know it was going a long way. It's probably gone to London for all I know. That was a real big one there from Johnny Bairstow. Showing the world why he's so good in white ball cricket, and Ben Stokes' reaction says it all.
Well, he's now 86. He's probably 3 balls away from 100, the way Johnny Bairstow's thinking. He'll be thinking 4 here, I reckon. Oh, it's way down the leg side. That'll be 4, I don't know, wides? No, buys. Bobs up, falls safely. Johnny gets through, good running. Bairstow's got the strike, the crowd cheer. Why wouldn't they? He's only 14 away from 100. Final ball. Has he got it fine enough? Yes, he has. Goes into the 90s, Johnny Bairstow, with that last ball of the over.
They're running, and Bairstow makes it now. Can Anderson make it? He can. Oh, this is excellent from Johnny Bairstow. Jimmy Anderson, for the second occasion, applauds him for his cricketing awareness. Oh, that's an under edge. That's more. That's away for 4. Bairstow to 94. Slams it through extra cover. That is an extraordinary shot from Johnny Bairstow. He moves to 98. The lead now 273, 590 for 9. They run again. Can Bairstow make it? Again, he can again.
I can't understand why Carey's got both of his gloves on. You see it all the time. People will take the right-hand glove off and make that throw that little bit easier. He should know that that's what they're going to do.
Maybe. Is Anderson quick enough? Will he go? Bairstow sends him back. Anderson is stranded. And they've gone to the wrong end. Australia just cannot think clearly at the minute.
When you talk about awareness, I mean, you actually have to have a look up, unfortunately, just before you get to this ball. Just before you're about to pick it up, you have to look up first and identify which end you need to throw it to. It's been one of those games for the Australian captain. It seems like the ball's followed him everywhere. He put down a catch yesterday afternoon. He sort of misjudged one at mid-on as well, where he ran the wrong way.
Oh, very close. Gone. Anderson has walked across. He's been given out. Surely they're going to review it. They've got one left, so why not?
Okay, TV umpire to director, we have a player review for LBW, original decision is out, confirm it is a fair delivery. You can go to the front on position, please. Okay, can you go to ultra edge, please? Okay, move on. Okay, flat line as the ball past the bat. Satisfied, no bat involved. You can go to the ball tracking. It's wickets hitting. You can stay with your original decision.
Well, it looked out from the moment it hit him. Bairstow will skate off now to get his keeping gear on, but he will acknowledge the crowd. That has been a quite outstanding innings from England's wicketkeeper batsman. He's been through a lot in the last few weeks. That will mean an awful lot to him and to his team, because he has enabled England to push their lead to 275. Some incredible stuff today from Johnny Bairstow. From 81 balls, 99 not out, as England are bowled out for 592 from just 107 overs and 4 balls.
Josh Hazlewood, the standout for the Australians, picked up 5 for 126. Look at the economy rates of all those Australian bowlers. It's astounding what England have been able to do here through their 107 overs of batting. Stark was good with the new ball, got some good shape today. Has that lack of that quality spinner that we've been talking about, will that come back to haunt Australia?
Well, what a position England find themselves in. A lead on first innings of 275 runs. Despite the carnage we've just seen from Bairstow, you would think these are still good conditions to bowl. Khawaja and Warner start Australia's second innings, with them trailing by a massive 275 runs.
Brand new ball, some cracks opening up in this surface, and there has been some uneven bounce.
England fielders swarm around Khawaja. Ward will get loose to start from the Statham end, you would think. Guzman went to pick it up and did pick it up. And Khawaja is away. Ooh, down the pitch. And just eases that through point. That's beautifully timed. Anderson will not be able to cut it off. The first boundary of Australia's second innings, and a good one from Khawaja. 7 without loss. Very good skills, Jimmy. How's your footballing skills, Ponting?
I was actually laughed at, Wardy, the time that I had at Surrey, joining in with the boys with a pre-game warm-up. Was actually got to the stage where I just was told that I was goalkeeper every morning.
Well, he definitely played at it there, Khawaja. Uncertain which way that ball is going, and whilst the ball is very new and the lacquer still on both sides, it's quite hard to see any contrast, so you're not sure.
Yeah, and Khawaja is going to be expecting that ball to come back into him on the breeze. It just stayed out there.
Club down the ground, hit firmly by Warner. Good solid attacking stroke. And a full toss that has been punished. Now then, Mark Wood, just before tea, steaming in from the Anderson end. Standing there, looking somewhat bemused, but England very, very confident about this. And Wood, introduced and with his second ball, believes that he's got Khawaja.
Nice and slow. Ball is very close to the bat. You can go to the ultra edge. Yes. Yeah. When the ball is next to the bat, there's a spike. I'm satisfied. You can.
Delight for England, for Mark Wood, for the 20-odd thousand people here at Old Trafford, and disappointment for Usman Khawaja, who fenced at the second ball from Wood and has feathered it behind.
Well, he felt it would be the introduction of Wood that would wake things up here, and it certainly has proven to be the case. Feather of an edge. Wood knew it straight away. Given out on field, Khawaja clearly didn't feel anything. He looked totally bemused, but he's got to go. And Australia have lost their first, 32 for 1.
Very fast ball and well played by Labuschagne. Labuschagne across the ball there. The ball was coming, the bat was coming down from about third slip, slightly across the ball. He gets away with it. He's off the mark. 36 for 1. Excellent first over from Mark Wood. Don't want to miss that one either. 12 overs done. I think that's T. Umpires have called T. 39 for 1. Australia, Warner has battled. He is 17. Labuschagne just to the crease has 4. England will be happy to see the back of Usman Khawaja, who's been a form player for Australia in this series. So good introduction of Mark Wood for that 1 over before tea, bringing its reward. Khawaja, the 1 wicket to go, caught by Johnny Bairstow off the bowling of Mark Wood for 18. Labuschagne has 4, Warner 17, Australia 39 for 1. Just the 1 over for Mark Wood, but a successful one. He came hurtling in and picked up Khawaja. No wickets for anyone else.
Delivery? I'll go for the salmon sashimi with the sausage.
Still no taxi. Guys, the ride's here. Frank. Dave's in the wrong ride. Fresh. Everything in my life right now fresh.
We do things differently on the mountain, like never serving our beer until the mountains turn blue. Grab a promotional pack for your chance to win fresh prizes.
If you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you'll lose, you lost. Success begins with a person's will. It's a state of mind.
Me again. Allow me to pick up where I left off. The biggest phenomenon. You did not scare me, no, you were not for it. Everyone I wanted, they can get it in the flash now, so. When I speak, then they wanna say that I'm you're not listening, you're not listening. I said it with my chest and I don't care who I offend.
Google Pixel, proud partner of the England teams.
Ashes done, but plenty at stake.
Yeah, we got a lot of pride to take.
Can England avoid an Ashes series defeat? The final test, live on Sky Sports. What's googly? If only there was some way of searching for the answer.
Ooh, he was just dawdling for a moment, Warner there, and Wokes was very alert. Ooh. Very similar to the ball that Wokes got Warner with in the first innings. Warner actually pushed at it, drove at it in the first innings, but it was a similar line, a similar length.
Yeah, and if it had been a little bit fuller, he might have nicked it. It was the same line, but just a fraction shorter. That bounced, actually. From that length, that bounced through nicely. Fair play to Warner. He didn't follow it with his hands, just held the line.
With a bounce again. That grubber. It wasn't straight this time, but if one of those is straight, it's got your number on it.
That took a piece as well. That is exactly the delivery that Root got. Fraction straighter, that's all it needed. See that just take a piece almost, and a bit of dust.
Warner just held that nonchalantly for 4.
That was the temper from Wokes. That was that fuller length. And for a fraction, Warner thought, I'm going to drive that. He didn't. There's the starts. Mike Atherton talks about 36, 66, 25, 32, and now 28 not out. And just 150. They've stuck with him. They need something from their 3 veterans. Him, Labuschagne, Smith, their 3 best players. To retain the Ashes, those 3 must deliver.
Again past the outside edge, but again Warner on the back foot this time, so it was a ball of reasonably short length, or back of a good length.
Just flirted with that outside the off stump. There was no need to play on length or line.
Uncertainty from Warner outside the off stump, not sure whether to play or leave. He's dragged it onto his stumps.
Yeah, the ball before did for him. The ball before he should have left, went past the edge. This one he didn't know whether to play or leave. He's leaving it, then he plays it, and he wishes he'd left it completely. It's that man Wokes again. What an introduction to the series he's had. David Warner in and out again. 28 he makes, 54 for 2.
What a delivery from Chris Wokes. He is in wonderful rhythm, just purring into the crease at the moment. And every ball comes out of his hand with a bit of menace on it. And England think that this might be out, you know. Afternoon, Ricky.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mark. Good afternoon, everyone. And they are going to have a look upstairs. The initial reaction from Root was that I didn't think he had thought it had carried.
It's a fair delivery. You can go to the catch. It clearly came off from the bat, so you can go to the catch. Nice and slow. Do you have side on replay, please? Can you go to the right side? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Can you show me another side on replay? That one I can see. Yeah. Oh, I would like to see some side on. Okay. Yeah, ball has grounded. Fingers are not underneath the ball. So I'm satisfied. I made my decision. You can go to the giant big screen.
Well, Steve Smith, his heart would have been in his mouth for a short while there. I think in the end, umpire Dharmasena has come to the only decision he could have given. Fabulous slip fielder yourself, Ricky. What was your immediate thought there with a neutral's hat on?
Well, I think a lot of the time, Butch, you can go on the fieldsman's reaction. I think there's certain times when you're 100% positive you caught it, and I think if he was positive there, Joe, he would have thrown that straight up. The fact that he looked straight down at the ground as well, he actually kept his eyes down almost to see if he could find a spot where it might have touched the grass. They are so close. They are so touch and go. Making a decision there, if the ball has actually bounced up off the ground and into the palm of his hand, or if it's actually landed on the end of his fingers and gone up into the palm of the hand.
Both of which are possible. Remember, a similar situation. Last Ashes series I played in down under, the MCG. Steve Waugh was under real pressure in the fourth Test match at the MCG, and he nicked one to me off Andy Caddick. And I went down a little bit like that, and as it came up, I felt instinctively that I wasn't sure that I caught it, and there was a blade of grass on the seam of the ball. And so I didn't go up. Everybody around me did. My captain, Nasser Hussain, was so filthy with me for not claiming it. And of course, you go to the third umpire, and in the end, it's given not out anyway. Steve Waugh stuck around and made a score, made a half century, I think. And very often, you know, you could argue that 100 different ways, because the ball is travelling in a horizontal direction. It's not going straight down into the floor, so the ball could very possibly have hit Joe Root's, the tips of his fingers, and bounced up into the palm of his hand. But there's nothing that we saw there that could confirm that 100%. Even though the directives for the umpires have changed slightly, haven't they?
Yeah, they have, and that goes back to the World Test Championship final, doesn't it, when Shubman Gill was given out by Cameron Green in the gully. I think even with the motion of that, though, with Joe, how he sort of scoops, you know, so he scoops it up like that, probably gives it away a bit of a telltale sign as well.
Reverse swing has often been a feature here at Old Trafford because of the surface, because of the square. It's rock hard, the hardest in the country. So historically it has been a factor here. I'm surprised we've had a little bit now, because the outfield is so lush, and we have had rain. They've had a lot of rain leading into the game, and once you get any sort of moisture on a ball, you lose the reverse swing. So the pitch is dry enough for it. Quite surprised the surrounds are too.
One thing Mark Wood can do, because the ball is reversing, he's bowling short of length. He get us a little bit fuller. Now that will definitely get the LBW and play into action a lot more. And the fact that if it does stop a little bit, then you have a chance at catching it at short mid-wicket as well. Interestingly, Australia also found a little bit of reverse swing, but negated pretty much because of the way they batted.
Oh, that's mighty close. Wood turns away, puts his hands to his face. Bairstow is still lying on the deck. That missed by a whisker.
That's the length, Wardy. That's the length I'm talking about. Slightly fuller, and he was very lucky to be still out there. Easily clipped off bail. Good bowling this from Mark Wood. Very probing. I get the feeling when he left the ball, he probably thought he was gone.
Solidly in behind that and commentates on it as well. 79 for 2.
Another Shane flicks it away. Down to Wokes, who's down there at fine leg.
When the ball is reversing, Mark, one of the key things that a lot of the fast bowlers talk about, and we had Lassit Malinga who used to do it for Sri Lanka, is one, the length. Have it hit a length and skid on low to try and get an LBW. The other is the fuller length Yorker. And the Yorker can be used in two ways. One is straight at the stumps to try and get that angle swinging in and beat the bat. The other is to lure the batter to go more across the stumps as Smith does, or maybe a Labuschagne at times, and bowl the Yorker with the shine reversed. Just got to try here, especially with these two batters. You break through here, and the game's almost done.
Oh, has he got it? Smith walks. The plan has worked. A treat. Good bouncer. Smith trying to help it on its way, and all he's done is help it through to Johnny Bairstow. That's the big breakthrough. And once again, it's Mark Wood who delivers for England.
Well, it's never the Yorker. It is always the short ball, Mark. You were spot on in terms of what they would try. Hit a length, and then the short one comes along. And Stephen Smith, do I leave it, do I play it? Caught in two minds once again. Exactly what England needed late in the day to see the back of Australia's premier batter.
Oh, and now a quicker one. It was up in the air for a while. I think there's a bit of bat in this. It falls safely in the end. Oh, that swung after it went past the bat. Bairstow had trouble hanging on to it. 98 for 3. Fins that down. No one at bat pad. Nice shot. Labuschagne timed it well also. Oh, that has raced across the turf.
Oh, now, where's that gone? Straight to Gully. He's bounced him out. It's that man Wood again. What an Ashes series he's having. Brilliant bit of fast bowling.
Yeah, isn't it amazing what pace does and what pace can bring to your team? It lifts the energy of everyone around you when you've got someone charging and bowling over 90 miles an hour. And that's a plan that we've seen England use right from the very first ball of this series against Travis Head. Change of angle, round the wicket. Doesn't know whether to play or leave. Just dangles the bat there, shoulder of the bat, easy catch for Duckett. And massive wicket for England. Head gone, 108 for 4.
That little bit of reverse swing that you're talking about, Ricky.
Yeah, and that's where they'll try and target Mitchell Marsh. They'll try and bring the ball back in there and try and thump one into his front knee roll. I think what they can try and do is a little bit similar to what they did to Steve Smith, though, as well in the first innings. I think they can keep the ball away from Marsh for a while, drag him across his stumps. You know, 3 or 4 balls in a row, wide outside off stump, drag him across and then try and dart one back down the line.
The outswinger, just a little bit both ways. That's the line and length. Inside edge. I was wondering if it was onto the boot. There's the drift that Ricky Ponting was mentioning on the breeze. Was it onto the boot? Yeah, maybe. No silly point.
This is where, Nas, when there is that little bit of drift away, I think for a right-handed batsman, this is where you need to move your guard, because the ball is going to drift away from it, get wider and wider. And as we saw with that ball 2 balls ago, he got lured into playing at the line and it almost spun back through the gate.
So what, get on to almost off stump?
Yep, get on to off stump for sure.
The new rules, mate. Very good, Mo.
The one from the over. Will they get another one in? No, I think that's time. They've nipped the bails off, and that's another excellent day's cricket for England in particular. The pace of Mark Wood and the brute force of Johnny Bairstow earlier in the day with the bat have put England in a very, very healthy position. They will look at those weather forecasts and hope the rain stays away, because they have had 3 excellent days at Old Trafford.
Yeah, almost perfect days. You said that at the start of this stint, Nas. They have not put a foot wrong. Won the toss, got the conditions they wanted, bowled well day 1, backed it up with some incredible batting day 2 and for the majority of day 3. And then when they've had their chance to bowl, they've been good.
Well, a quite staggering day of cricket for England. They dominated Australia. First with the bat with Johnny Bairstow to the 499 unbeaten. James Anderson just couldn't hang around long enough for him to get for 3 figures. But the damage had been done. England 592. Australia then at stumps 4 down. Labuschagne unbeaten on 44. The pace of Mark Wood with some reverse swing made the difference. 3 for 17 for him. The other wicket went to Chris